Test 22212. Welcome, ladies, and that's it. Welcome, ladies. Welcome, gentlemen, and welcome everyone in between and outside of those parameters to the bliss of the abyss, your guide through this lockdown feverish pandemic. I am your host, Robert Neumark Jones. You can call me Ruskin Denmark if you like. Does that confuse you? Is it strange? Oh, well, that's life. How is everybody? How is everybody? Did you get that thing sorted? Have you had your jab yet? Have you called your mum recently? Give her a ring. Have you hung out with friends? You're allowed to do it now. Give it a go. Have you gone to a pub? Have you had a drink? Have you had some coffee with a mate? Have you gone for a stroll in a park? Have you? Or have you sat on your arse? I hope both, because I gave you about 15 options there, not 2. But I hope you've been enjoying your life of late. I certainly have. And that will probably affect the quality of this podcast. Because it was my birthday just the other day. I'm old. I'm so old now. I am so old. Oh, God, how old are you? So, how many years of old do you have? So, I have so many. Not as many as some people, though. Not as many as you. Yep, you. That's right, you. Less than you. Okay. I'm getting a phone call. Here we go. Hello?
Can I just face you this way so you can tell me what noodles I need to get?
So let's get 2 types. Get the pad thai noodles. What was I talking about on this show? What was I talking about? Sorry, just had an interruption there from my lovely lady wife, Caitlin. Fans of the podcast will know her as Caitlin. For new listeners of The Bliss of the Abyss, listen to episode 34 of The Bliss of the Abyss. All these stories are true, featuring Johnny B. One of the best episodes of this show, without a doubt. Caitlin's dad, chock full of stories from a real New Yorker. That's what I will say. If you are new to the show, welcome. How did you find us? Were you impressed by a recent episode? Did the hype on the street bring you here? Was it my extensive advertising campaign? Did you stumble upon it? Remember Stumbleupon? Does anyone remember that? There was a website called Stumbleupon, which I think probably doesn't exist anymore. It sort of feels like it was a thing, a bit like Instagram mixed with Tumblr, which, again, does that exist anymore? Tumblr? Didn't they take all the porn off and it disappeared? Stumbleupon was a discovery and advertisement engine. Was no more a form of a web search engine that pushed web content recommendations to its users. Its features allowed users to discover and rate web pages, photos, and videos. Yeah, it was good. It was shut down, though, in favour of a new discovery platform called Mix. That's a less good name, isn't it? Mix. Although if it's mix.com, no, it's just an extension now. But it is mix.com, so they do have mix.com. If you're going to have Mix, you don't want it to be like, we are mix.com or whatever. But it feels like, I don't know, a bygone piece of the internet. Not quite as outdated as something as like Ask Jeeves, but still, why do cats open their mouths when they're smelling something? For example, would be something you might stumble upon. I think now really the feed has taken over, hasn't it? Isn't the feed everything now? What's in the feed? And there's something sort of, what's the word for it? Disturbing, I think, that this is the word these social media giants have decided. Because they do just look at us as, commodity, as tokens, movable objects, pawns. Only a pawn in their game. To quote Bobby Dylan. Bobby D. Yeah, if you've seen The Social Dilemma documentary. And if you haven't, what are you doing? Good doc, I'd say. If I had to give it a rating out of 10 on the doc scale, I'd give it, 9. It's probably not that good. But it was really good at the time. And it definitely shows that's just the way they look at us. We're just units. And they just want us to be on a platform, hopefully, so that we'll eventually click or scroll an ad. And even better, maybe we'll pay for something somehow, even though the whole thing's meant to be free. But what is the message that the Social Dilemma tells you? The message is, if something is free, then it's you. That's the product, my friend. You might think it's Facebook that's the product, but it's you. You are for sale. Everything about what do you like? What do you not like? What do your friends like? What does your ex-girlfriend like? What does your father-in-law like? These are the things that are worth billions to these companies, which is really freaking creepy. Get out of my business. They got their hand all the way up. Anyway, don't need to go there. So I have just turned many years old. That's right. I had my birthday this weekend. I had a select group of individuals round to my garden in the open air. No more than 6. Thus ticking all the boxes of allowable social gatherings in this current age that we live in. So weird. I can't wait to listen back to this immediately, but also in sort of 5 years' time and be like, oh yeah, the government wouldn't let me have more than 6 people around my house, would they? And also, I'll probably listen back in 10 years. Will I? I hope not, but maybe I will. I'll listen back and I'll know that I was lying, of course, about those numbers. But will I remember the truth? I don't know. The good thing about having a podcast is you no longer have to make memories because they are all stored in audio format. I had a really nice birthday. If any of the guests are listening, I would like to extend my thanks for coming and being such a lovely part of the day. We had a great time, didn't we? We had a barbecue. We played games. Did we? We played one game, really, but it's a really, really good game. It's a really complicated game. Should I explain it? Nah. And we partied and we danced and all kinds of stuff like that. And I was really rusty at hosting. You think those skills are nailed on? They ain't. And socializing. Everyone was crap at socializing. But then we got into the swing of it and it was totally fine. A few friends of the show were present, being very friendly. I didn't invite people I don't like to my party. You think that's weird? I don't like to do the sort of, what's the word? I don't like to do the political invites, I suppose, which you do sometimes have to do, don't you? You're sort of like, well, and we have to ask so-and-so because there was so-and-so, and, you know, I don't want to do that. That's not my jam, man. And luckily, the government has enforced rules that mean that really those people don't get a look in. Because I'm like, hey, it's not me that's not inviting you to the party. It's the government, which probably hurts worse when you think about it. I would have invited you to my party, but the government told me not to. Government took one look at you and thought, is this the best you can do? What? No. Speaking of government, we got a lot of corruption going on here in the UK. So that's exciting. It's always exciting when there's lots of smear and scandal. We, of course, have had the royal funeral and everyone was watching like a hawk to see if Prince Andrew was sweating. Why? If you don't know. Oh, if you don't know. I'm just going to Google it. Did Prince Andrew sweat at the funeral? Yeah, because there it is. Reddit. Of course, Reddit got there. Okay, so for those who don't know, the reason I'm asking you, the reason I am Googling this is because Prince Andrew gave the most ridiculous interview ever to Emily Maitlis, who is a badass, where he claimed that he couldn't possibly be the person in the anecdote that Virginia Roberts Giuffre, anecdote? That's not the right word. Account of abuse. She said it was him. And there's a photo of him with his arm around her. He's like, oh, I don't remember this. And she was pimped out by Epstein and Ghislaine and abused terribly. And Andrew was part of this horrific circle. Clearly, the flight logs show it, right? He was on the plane something like 30 times. He's photographed with him many times through the years. And I'm not breaking new ground by telling this. So come at me if you want to, but it's all on record, Princey boy. Anyway, so he claimed that it couldn't possibly be who she was recounting in this harrowing story because he didn't sweat anymore. He couldn't sweat. Just leave that pause for effect. Now, I've looked this up. It is possible for somebody to not be able to sweat. It's incredibly rare, but you can be born without sweat glands. It's not a good life. I don't know. Should we get a picture? Born without sweat glands. Anhidrosis. Sweathelp.org. It's rare, but some people are born without sweat glands. Oh, God. High risk of death. Oh, boy. This is not funny at all, but yes, it can happen. You can be born without sweat glands. As you can imagine, it's no joke. Sweathelp.org, if you want to learn more about the plight of people born without sweat glands. Yeah. Being unable to sweat is potentially life-threatening. Sweat is essential to human survival because it serves as the body's coolant. Isn't it? Yes, it does. Yes, it does. So sweating, an essential part of being a human. And indeed, I think, does every animal sweat? I think all mammals do. Sweatcast. Welcome to Sweatcast. Sweatcast, motherfucker. Yeah. Sweatcast, motherfucker. Yeah. Cut. We can't swear in the song. Well, I'm just reading what was written. Sweatcast. Yeah, I know. Sweatcast, mother fudger. How about that? Yeah, it's not going to sound cool. This is Sweatcast. We're cutting edge. Anyway, that's all we've got time for this week on Sweatcast, motherfucker. Yeah. So back to the story though. So Prince Andrew said that he couldn't sweat, but not that he'd been born without sweat glands, but that actually due to trauma suffered by serving in the military in the Falkland Islands, in the conflict in the Falklands. Yeah, because of that trauma, he is no longer able to sweat. By the way, that's not something that happens. You don't go through trauma and then are not able to sweat. That doesn't happen. That has never happened and never will it happen. Maybe your hair will go white. Maybe. You won't suddenly lose the ability to... Unfortunately, some people might want to lose that ability. But, as I've said before, it is an important thing to be wet. So, that being said, that is why... falling, collapsing. That's why people want to know at the funeral if Andrew was sweating. Because he was dressed up to the nines in his military fatigues. Why do they call them fatigue? Fatigue means tired, but it also means the outfit that you wear in the military. Why? Why does it mean that? Wordcast. Help me, wordcast. Fatigue, that which causes weariness. Yeah. Monsieur, je suis fatigué. Mister, I am tired. From the French, fatigué, weariness. From pre-Latin, fatiagos. Hey, have you seen fatiagos? Especially the labours of military persons, meaning a feeling of weariness from exertion. Ah, so that's where it comes from originally. And then over time, I guess it came to mean the clothing as well. Yeah, of course you're fucking knackered if you're a soldier. Although I'm not sure how much frontline action Prince Andrew saw. I know Prince Harry was pretty frontline. So let's see. Did Prince Andrew sweat at the funeral of Prince Philip? So, he said in the big interview that he didn't sweat. So if he lies about this, maybe he lies about other things in the interview. What do you fucking think? The interview was full of lies. Let's have a look. Here's a nugget. Oh, I don't know. Gross, right? The royal family are just fucking weird anyway. And then just all of the lies told. It's so gross. Why am I talking about the royals? Who cares? Who cares? This is the bliss of the abyss, not the weirdness of the British royals. Solo episode this week. It's been a while. Am I rusty? Fuck yeah. Can I rely on other people for the lols? No. Where's Kaylin? Kaylin, come and be funny. But I thought, since this is episode 51, which means next week will be the 1 year, right, anniversary of this show, even though it's actually been a bit longer than that, due to unforeseen circumstances beyond my control. The 52nd episode is a milestone, so I thought I'd celebrate it an episode early. So welcome to the 1 year celebration of TBOTA, because I gotta. So, lined up on the show, what have I got? Bollocks all. Welcome. All right, welcome to the Abyss of the Abyss. We got bollocks all on the show today. I tell you what. Yes, that's right. So, it's a celebration of all things Bliss of the Abyss, and let's face it, we've done a year. It's time to shut up shop, isn't it? You know? It's dumb. I've did it. I've found all of the bliss that there is in the abyss. I've done it all. I've got it all now. Done. That's it. Yep. Got it. Bliss, abyss, done. Yep. Understood. Right. Yep. That's it. Right. So I should just fucking say farewell. Farewell. Goodbye. I mean, who's got a year's worth of things to talk about? Me, apparently. Even though I don't, or did, or didn't, or have, or wouldn't, or should, or haven't, or could. Now, I've been told that this podcast is nonsensical, bizarre, absurdist. And to those people I say, hello, hello, hello. I'm going to have pad thai tonight. What are your thoughts on pad thai? Yay or nay? Did you know? Interesting thing about pad thai is it's the national dish of Thailand. But it was made in like the 70s, I think. It was just artificially created by the Thai government. They were like, well, we need a national dish, so what about if we just make one up? And it's absolutely delicious. But they just made it up. Author Matt, hold on, this is going to be hard to say. Matt Padungpat maintains that pad thai is not this traditional, authentic, going back hundreds of years dish. No, it was actually created in the 1930s by Plaek Vibhunsongkram, who was the prime minister at the time. It was created because Thailand was focused on nation building. So he created this dish using Chinese noodles, called it pad thai as a way to galvanize nationalism. Here we go. Hold on. I have just read something that annoys me so much. Fuck you, Wikipedia. I should be looking on simplewikipedia.org. That's the one. Listen to this. Another explanation of pad thai's provenance holds that, during World War II, Thailand suffered a rice shortage due to the war and floods. Good so far. With you. To reduce domestic rice consumption, the Thai government, under Prime Minister Vibhunsongkram, promoted consumption of noodles instead. His government promoted rice noodles. So what the fuck are you fucking talking about? Pad Thai uses rice noodles. It's like, look, rice is at an all-time low because of the fucking World War II, the thing that's going on over here. So everyone, eat noodles instead. What type of noodles shall we eat? Rice noodles. Do you not see the inherent problem with what you're saying? Absolutely bullshit. But Pad Thai is listed at number 5 of the world's 50 most delicious food, which was a reader's poll compiled by CNN Go in 2011. What's going to be number 1? The most delicious food in the world. How dare you even do this? But let's have a look. What are the world's most delicious foods? We thought we knew. Apparently we don't. Well, yes, you do. Shut up. It's whatever you like the most. What would be number 1, the most delicious food in the world? Is it a dish or is it an ingredient? I guess it's a dish. I don't know. Let's have a look. Oh, I should guess. I should have a guess. I don't know. Like something really flavorful. Something Asian, I'm guessing. Pad Thai's number 5. Maybe that's why. Not the most inspired bit of words. Piece of language, I think, is more appropriate, Robert. So maybe like a curry, like an amazing curry. I don't know. Why be specific? Thai curry, maybe. It's very flavorful. Or, you know what I like is just like a whole fish grilled on the barbecue. Maybe you brush it in some oil, some herbs, some garlic, that kind of thing. But that's kind of all I want. Or shrimp, or, yeah. I'm a man of the sea. So I'm guessing that's going to be up there. It's not going to be like steak, you know? Steak and fries, steak and chaps. Steak and chops. Let's see. Let's have a look. There we go. Number 50. I mean, I'm not doing all 50, am I? Maybe I can do it in one breath. No. 50 is like a kind of spring roll, which from Vietnam. You know the rice spring roll? They're delicious. But anyway, let's go way down. Hamburger is number 42. What? Bullshit. Hamburger? What? Okay, let's just keep going. Anything that sticks out. Potato chips. United States. Wait a second. The USA did not invent potato chips, or crisps as we call them in the UK. Potato chips, or crisps in British and English. In British and Irish English. English? What's wrong? Origin. History. Origin. The earliest known recipe for something similar to today's potato chips is William Kitchener's book, The Cook's Oracle, published in 1817, which was a bestseller in the UK and the US. Okay, fine. Yeah, good. An 1825 British book, early recipes, blah, 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 blah. A legend associates the creation of potato chips with Saratoga Springs, New York, decades later than the first recorded recipe. Well, come on. It's not right then, is it? What is it? Okay, let's have a listen. Is this going to be a funny story? Okay, so by the late 19th century, a popular version of the story attributed the dish to George Crumb, a cook at Moon's Lake House, who was trying to appease an unhappy customer on August 24th, 1853. The customer kept sending back his French fried potatoes, complaining they were too thick, too soggy, or not salted enough. Frustrated, Crumb sliced several potatoes extremely thin, fried them to a crisp, and seasoned them with extra salt. To his surprise, the customer loved them. Yeah. They soon came to be called Saratoga chips, a name that existed into the mid-20th century. I mean, it's not true, is it? I mean, maybe it is true, but that's not where potato chips come from, because they were already in recipes before that. However, I don't know. Well, I don't know if the US can claim potato chips, really. But they have. So back to our list of the top 50th most delicious food. So 37, potato chips. I mean, they are pretty good. 35, pizza. Neapolitan. The best pizza was and still is the simple Neapolitan. I mean, as I've got older, I do have to say, which we call a margarita here, it is kind of my favourite. Just a few basil leaves, tomatoes, cheese, salt, olive oil, just the basics. That's it. Right? That's kind of the best pizza. Sure, you can add and subtract a few extra. I happen to like pineapple. People think I'm sick because of that. Ham is a popular choice. Pepperoni, of course. Don't forget sometimes an egg, some spinach, some chorizo. All of these mushrooms. All of these are good, right? But the best is the original. Just kind of like the best ice cream is vanilla. I mean, what's happened? I prefer sorbet. Okay, so 35 is pizza. I mean, it's so good. 34, shrimp dumpling, Hong Kong. Are they better? Are they better than pizza? Are they number 33, paella. What? 32, lobster, global. Well, actually, there are some places that you don't get lobster. But you can't just say lobster. That's not a dish. That's an animal. The best way to enjoy lobster is simply boil it and serve with a side of melted butter and slice of lemon. I mean, I am with them there. That is how I would prefer to eat lobster. And I guess, so if we're going to just say, instead of just lobster, we're going to say that lobster. And I would like some fried potatoes on the side, please. So that's number 32. Number 31 is fried chicken, as in like KFC style. Now, fried chicken's not better than lobster. Anyway, this is point. Let's go to fucking number one. The funny thing about this, right, is there's going to be all the comments underneath of people being like, what? Can't believe this is number 32, which is actually really what I'm doing. Oh, the Internet Archive, the Wayback Machine. Am I on the Wayback Machine? Oh, it's been archived. That's me blowing off a dusty piece of the internet. Welcome to Dusty Pieces of the Internet with your host, David Fox. Here we are. So, where do we get up to? No, this is still... No. Oh my God. You know what? Oh wait, it's loaded the whole thing. Don't worry. Don't you worry, people. Don't you worry. Number 30, cheeseburger. I mean, what? Well, because hamburger was number 40. Add it to the power of cheese. Add it to an ordinary hamburger and it gets pushed up 13 spots in the poll. Well, I mean, thing is, cheeseburger and hamburger are the same thing, That's like having pizza and calzone, or calzone, never sure, on the list here. That's the same thing. You've just folded it in half. You just added a slice of cheese. It's the same thing. It's just got an additional ingredient. That doesn't make it an entirely different... I mean, it's a different menu option, obviously. In fact, they're completely different. Tacos, number 27. Chocolate, number 25. Mexico. Yeah. Okay. Egg tart, number 22. Fish and chips, number 21. That's right, mate. Anything that's been around since the 1860s can't be doing much wrong. The staple of the Victorian British working class is a crunchy outside, soft inside dish of simple, unadorned food fundamentals. Sprinkled with salt, vinegar, dollops of tartar sauce. It is to nouveau cuisine what meatloaf is to print. What? Brackets, or whatever he's calling himself now. So this is before he died. Good. Fish and chips is great. It is really good, but it's not going to be in the top 10, is it? I mean, as great as it is, as much as I love it. Pho is number 20. Often mispronounced pho. Green curry, number 19. I got it wrong. I thought that would be in... I was positioning it for top spot, wasn't I? Which, looking back, I was a younger, brasher, foolish man. Let's see. Croissant, 18. Gelato, 17. Kebab, 16. Kebab. Yeah, there are so many forms of kebab. That's right. Delicious. 15. Ice cream. United States. What? Also, the fact that ice cream and gelato are separate entries. I'm not buying that. That's the same thing. Ice cream. There's no way it was invented in the US. Sorry, people. I love the States. History, origins. It's got to be China, hasn't it? Everything is always China. The origins of frozen desserts are obscure. Some sources describe ice cream-like foods as originating in Persia as far back as 550 BCE. Apparently, Nero had the first ever sorbet. Okay, so Persia claimed it. Cradle of Civ. How the fuck did they keep it that cold, though? Does Persia get cold ever? Modern day Iran? Other accounts say ice cream originated in the Mongol Empire and spread to China during expansion. Okay. Yeah. But Marco Polo introduced it to Italy? Wow. Imagine that. Or did he introduce gelato? Because it's a different thing. No, it's not. It's the same thing. So I don't know how people are fucking claiming it's from the USA. An early North American reference to ice cream is from 1744. Yeah. But there's already one in French in 1674. So he can fuck off. So 15, ice cream, United States, fuck off from everywhere. Number 14, satay, Indonesia. Love satay. Although Indonesia, that's controversial. I thought it was Malaysian. Let's move on. Chicken rice, Singapore. Oh, so good. You haven't had it. Kimchi, Korea. I don't like kimchi. I like sauerkraut, though. There we go. That's all I got to say on that matter. Number 11, lasagna. What? So lasagna is up, 24 places above pizza? No way. I mean, it is delicious. I fucking love lasagna. It's not better than pizza, is it? Is it? Is it? Massaman curry, number 10. Okay. Thailand, yeah. It's the king of curries. No, it's not. I mean, it is delicious if you've never had... I'm going to stop saying that about every food. It is delicious. So, 10, countdown. Massaman curry. Peking duck. Fucking love Peking duck. Caitlin doesn't like it. And actually, she prefers Cantonese duck, which I'm kind of coming round to it as well. But I love the Peking duck with the pancakes and the onions and the hoisin sauce. Thank you so much. Number 8, ramen, pan. So good. Number 7, dim sum, Hong Kong. Delicious. Number 6, som tam, papaya salad, Thailand. Very good. Number 5, pad thai, Thailand. We knew about this. Number 4, tom yum goong. Well, I thought it was just called tom yum, which is like a really nice soup. This is very Asian. I nailed the Asian part. Number 3, sushi, Japan. Yeah, I'll give you that. Number 2, nasi goreng. Whoa. Oh, I'm so hungry. I am so fucking hungry. Nasi goreng is really good. If you've never had nasi goreng, go out there and get it. Number 1, rendang. Again, Indonesia. It is a curry, really. Slowly simmered with coconut milk and a mixture of lemongrass, galangal, garlic, turmeric, ginger, and jellies. Then left to stew for a few hours to create a dish of tender, flavorful bovine goodness. So I was kind of right. An Asian curry is number 1. I mean, I was pretty close, I'd say. I'd give myself 3 out of 5 for that. So delicious. Count as a curry. I don't know. The word curry just means mix, doesn't it? Not the most delicious food in the world. I mean, it is good. Oh, this is a pointless conversation. I've wasted my life. How long have I been talking about the 50 most delicious foods in the world? And none of the conclusions can be drawn. Potato chip. I still can't believe that they tried to claim that potato chips are from the US. But, that's all right. It's all right. I guess I'll just get over it. Okay, there we go. That is an episode of The Bliss of the Abyss. Thanks for listening. Thank you for coming on this journey with me. And if you keep coming back, I shall as well. Next week, the 52nd episode, I've got a few ideas cooking. I don't know which one will make it to table. But that should be exciting. Right. If you haven't ever given us a review, but you listen to the show, please give us a review. And by us, I mean me, really. It's basically me. So even if you can't be bothered to write a review, how about just 5 stars and clicking subscribe? How about that? Or you could even become a patron. I mean, it's pretty great over there on Patreon. Oh, it's wild times. Anyway, I have to go now. What are my parting words? Final thoughts on a year of doing the podcast. What have I learned? Fuck all. Except for the most delicious food in the world is beef rendang. Anything else? Nah. All right then. Love you. Bye. 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 All right. Thanks for listening to the show. If you've enjoyed it, please give us 5 stars and consider becoming a subscriber and maybe even supporting us on Patreon. Really, really, really helps me continue making this show. If you haven't enjoyed it, then you can
Many thanks to Nils Hennis Steer for the amazing music and to Dave Fox for the cool artwork. Please keep coming back every week for more Bliss of the Abyss.
Message 1.